2, 3, 4. All right. Hi Trollbot. Bye Trollbot. I think I'm going to talk about failure today. Let's talk about that. Learning from your mistakes, correcting what you've done wrong. However people want to put it. One of the things that has come up especially when I started doing loud noises, is that I had a few people come up to me and saying how brave it was and how amazing it was, just the fact that I was doing it. And my brain never couldn't process that, because the one thing that it was always followed by is I could never do that. And I was just like sometimes I apologize to them. I'm like, I'm sorry to hear that. But the truth of the matter is, it wasn't that they could never do singing karaoke and stuff like that. It's that they don't want to do it. When I say that I can't sing, it's not because I don't want to sing. Obviously, I've had over 100 videos of me actually singing. I can't hear it. I've had many singing teachers and lessons and scales and stuff like that. I used to play the piano and sing at the same time. I used to do all that stuff, and I have certain tricks that help me with my hearing that correct it, and I try to utilize all of them. But the biggest thing that I have is because I also know that what's recorded, the sound of my voice and stuff like that, doesn't sound like how I talk normally. So there's that, there's a more mechanized sound to my voice when it's recorded. So I try to now compensate for that. And it's a lot of compensation to where what I'm actually singing sometimes doesn't feel correct to me. And I think that it also takes away from the tonality, my reactions to words and stuff like that. So you don't get, I lose a lot of things along the way when I'm doing all these corrections. And yeah, like I said, when I'm actually physically singing it, I'm not singing the notes that I think that I'm hearing, if that makes sense. Partly because I can't hear them anyway. My register of hearing loss is not high scale and low scale, which is what confuses a lot of people, where how I can fake hearing tests and things like that, because usually when they use the mid-range for all their loud noises, almost every hearing test has ever done that. And when they start scaling up higher and higher and higher, they turn the volume down. Well, once I get into those things, I can hear, my scale is like through the roof. Some people think I have incredible hearing because of it. And same thing with lower tones. When it gets lower, 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 when they start doing that, when you can hear that, when you're doing the tone, which ear is it you're hearing out of? The sound actually, and one, if they were trying to figure out the register, with loud noises, they're usually using a high register. So I'm usually right there on the high register, so I can hear it all. Beep, I can hear all of that. Where I have my hearing loss is actually in pretty much my range, and I can hear parts of it because the sounds aren't either high or low. When they're, the sounds aren't just a mid-range sound. They either go higher or lower. And basically, I try to guess with my singing what is the right tone of what I can't hear. I don't know if that makes sense to anybody. When I hear opera and things like that, I can hear. I think I hear it all. Hear it correctly. But I have already been told several times, Sean, with saying you can't sing because these songs are actually really good, but that's what it's I don't want to call it a disability, but it is an obstacle that I have in my life where the singing is concerned. I love to sing. I love it. I think it's great. I think it's wonderful. And if people who are not trained in singing, obviously, knowing tonality and what they hear in their head and stuff like that, and it's usually the reason why people normally hate their own voice. I hate my own voice because I try very hard to make that what I hear, what I'm saying, be what people or what everybody's hearing, what I'm saying, how I'm saying it, the volumes and things of that nature. And any recording of me, I'm way off the mark most times. And it's kind of really weird because my deafness is in my own registry. And it's broken up in that respect. So I can actually hear, it's kind of weird to say, I can actually hear me speaking, but playing back, I have trouble hearing what I'm actually saying. I can sometimes I've actually, there's a few videos, and it might just be because I spoke really softly. I know the very first video, it was the mic problem, and it didn't come in at all. And, I had to turn the volume all the way up. I had to, turn, literally, 10, 10, 10, just to hear what I was saying. But I don't know if, because of where my registry is, I don't know if people could actually, whether I'm actually telling people to blow their speakers out, because I don't hear it. It's complete blank in certain areas. That video is actually really, that one in particular, because it's softer, there's definitely a lot of missed words that I know that I say. And if people don't hear that, I kind of feel really weird, because here I can't hear it. Before anybody asked about hearing aids and all that jazz and stuff like that. Yeah, hearing aids are actually meant to capture lower and higher registries. They're not usually meant for mid-registry, and I would have to have a colloquial implant, and I still have enough hearing that it would be detrimental for them to cut the nerve in my ears, so they can attach the colloquial implant. And that's, my understanding, is a very mechanical sound also. So I don't believe it would help. I don't believe that there would be any help in what I'm hearing. It would probably be more of a detriment than a help at this point. I might go, I might have colloquial implants, once I'm using, because, as I'm getting older, I'll start losing the higher and lower registries anyway, and I'm already deaf here. It'll come like that. It'll come full circle. And that's a shame. And I know that eventually, if I live long enough, I will probably be amongst the deaf. I did take sign language, and I did, study a little bit of it, and I do have a rudimentary, the ABs. I'm not going to do it. I'm not doing sign language. I'll insult freaking people who are deaf, and I don't want this I don't want to make it seem like I'm, insulting anybody. I'm, trying to show off of, what I have, and it's basically it's like me speaking Japanese. I have a rudimentary Japanese. I can understand a lot of speaking. Obviously, normal Japanese speaking usually speaks too fast, and obviously with my hearing problems, I sometimes can't even hear a lot of the words that are being said. So that could happen, and it's a shame if that does happen. So I don't do it. Same thing with Spanish, and I could probably do that with English as well. My grasp on English, I did study it in college. My grasp on English is probably pretty rudimentary as well. But we're going to get back into failures, and if I had to say about a failure for the channel, my original, well, not the original, the 7 years ago channel that I had in mind to produce, that's a complete and total wash. That was a complete and total failure, and it mostly due to the fact that I did not take the steps necessary to make this channel happen. When my birthday this year came around, and that's when I started up this channel, I would say what I initially wanted, obviously what I wanted was I wanted to be in Florida and, running around Walt Disney World. And I did not get that. So my initial take on what I was going to do with the channel was just going to be the worst birthday ever. I'm doing this wrong. Came out of that. The next parody. I did that. Anything you see me with a long beard, those are all the videos that I created during the day. It's actually days leading up to my birthday, because I actually started it on the 31st. No, my cat. Yeah, what are you doing? Okay, I know there's a camera here. We're running away. Once he sees the camera, that's it. He knows he's being filmed. He jetted out of here. So, but maybe the light's too low. Let me put on a light. Trying to pretend that I don't have a camera rolling so that he might come back in. Failures. like this segment it's a failure. Now, so it was supposed to just be worst birthday ever, and I did a bunch of videos and everything like that. And the reception from it and the filming of it and everything that I was, were all learning experiences. What I was going to, how I was going to do this. And if I had to say that segment of it, because of what the channel became, that was a complete and total failure as well. It was supposed to be a standalone, and it was supposed to be successful. And there was supposed to be a lot of the people, especially the people going to my birthday, watching those videos and commenting and being a part of my birthday, even though we weren't in Florida. And nobody showed up. Everything that I planned for my birthday, even though I played it off, so that's the movie magic of it all. It's the reason why I insist that I'm a character, not I'm a character, not this is definitely me, and I'm definitely doing a character of myself. That's not different, but other than that, what you are seeing is not real life. It's just like reality TV. What people are viewing on there is not real life. That's not really what's happening. People are not either in danger or really doing a competition or really having these arguments. It's all staged. It's all meant for television. And even though the specific words that are being said are probably not written down, for the most part, the idea of what was going to happen, the type of fight, the pranks, or whatever the freaking drama is in the television show, like Big Brother or something stupid like that, or Survivor, anything that's going on in there, that's all fixed. It's all rigged. It's all meant to thing, and even choosing who to vote for and stuff like that. It's all rigged. They're all actors. And I hate to break it to you, even if they consider themselves a reality TV star, it's all acting. And that's how I see me doing these videos. Yes, I'm anybody watching these videos who has known me before, there's definitely a lot more information about what's going on with me. There's definitely a lot more things that are happening to me, definitely a lot more ways I've been thinking than I've actually conveyed with them. And, I've known people for, 30, 40 years. And in 30, 40 years, the truth of the matter is these people do not know who I am. They probably would learn more about me watching a few hours of my videos than they have, I've been around for 50 years. So in 50 years that I've been on this planet, all the knowledge that they could have possibly gotten from the day I met them till today, they never would have gotten the amount of information about me than these videos. At the same time, these videos are fiction. It's not nonfiction. I will never say that I'm doing historical documentary of, I'm not documenting my life or anything like that, because I don't want to be restricted. I have the ability with fiction to convey the truth, to convey what's happening, to convey my thoughts and everything like that. But if I considered this nonfiction, if I considered this, real as it was, I would not be free to run away with thoughts, discuss things. I'd have to make things fit together in timelines and things like that. And when it's all jumbled around in my head, or when I'm speaking like with Unscripted, I'm speaking off the cuff. Sometimes I don't have the actual accurate information. And what I'm doing instead is I'm filling it in with convenience. I'm filling it in to get from point A to point B, sometimes with a lot of, I like to call it convenience, but they're lies. It's not the truth. It's not, some of these things didn't actually physically happen to me, or it didn't happen to me that way. The true story of who I am does not make sense. Does not fit into any type of narrative. It doesn't have villains. It doesn't even have antagonists. unless you count me as my own antagonist. Doesn't really have a protagonist. I don't portray myself as the hero of my own life, even though I will definitely portray myself as a hero in the stories I tell. Because for a story, you need certain elements. And when I'm speaking about things that I've done, I'm speaking about those elements in that way. But yeah, that's the reason why I consider this fiction and I don't consider this reality. And it's probably closer than any single reality television show, including like Gold Rush or Deadliest Catch. And they can't fake the amount of fish they catch. They can't fake the amount of gold they dig up out of the ground. But I would probably say that my channel is more real, more nonfiction than those shows. If that makes sense. And then you could take it for what it's worth. You could say, as Sean said, that he's dealing in fiction. So that statement that I just said might just be fiction. Like I said, I like the idea that this is fiction, because then I don't have to justify my fillers, my flavors, the things that I make connections with, because like I said, the actual story, the actual things that happen, they're not happy. They don't have a triumphant ending, or they don't have a resolution. Most things in my life do not end up with a satisfying resolution, and it's going to probably end that way, when that time comes, which hopefully many years from now. But many years from now, when the time comes, I would love for people to make up stories about how the end came, and the lead up to the end, and how healthy I was, and the things I was able to still do right before I passed on. That would actually, I would love to live to see that, even though it's talking about my death. But yeah, if I succeed in that, I would definitely say that everything, including the things that we would consider failures, everything that I've done in my life, I would consider a success. I would consider myself successful. I can't take any money that I make with me, so who cares? I only make money to pay bills and keep food in my belly, and maybe buy some crazy stuff when I see it. A lot of things that if I didn't actually physically make it myself, a lot of things that I have were actually given to me. So they were gifts and presents and things. So that's a whole different story. But I definitely buy action figures. So people shouldn't get their panties in a tussle of that. I definitely bought action figures. I definitely bought, like these miniatures I still have on the table that I haven't, let's see if we can get a good shot of him. I still have my miniatures and stuff like that I spent lots, thousands of dollars on over the years. And that's what money is for me. Money doesn't serve any other purpose. I don't consider the amount of wealth that I have being successful. In fact, there have been times in my life that I have been financially secure, but I would definitely say that I was a failure. A failure as a human being, a failure, in the things that I was doing, and I had a lot of missteps, especially when I did not have to worry about where the money was coming from, and I have been homeless, and at the same time, being homeless, there were things that I was doing that I was very successful at. So I had a lot of successes when I was without a house. Homeless is probably wrong because it's um, I very few times I've actually, even when I was renting and stuff like that, did I actually feel like I was home. I mean, childhood home was a home. And that's about it. So I was houseless. I was shelterless. I've been that. I have gone days without food. I have gone days without water. I mean, well, fresh water is kind of really weird. Always had access to some type of water source. Fresh water has been an odd one for me. But yeah, so I've been, I've had those days, that has happened. And fortunate or unfortunate, depending on how you want to look at it, I survived all of that. So, um, that if I had to put my finger on what would be successful to me, it is surviving. I I don't. I'm not a big proponent of the what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. In fact, I don't believe that at all. I think that if somebody said what doesn't kill you makes you weirder, that I'll take more over stronger. I think that things that I've been through um, that could have almost that I survived. Surviving success. The success. I had the success that of actually living through some harrowing experiences. Afterwards, I don't think that I was stronger mentally, physically, spiritually. Um, in fact, surviving surviving after I've given up is one of the big culprits in why I don't have a religious faith. It's why I don't subscribe to any type of deity and pray to. It definitely is one of the reasons why I realized for myself. Now, I will always not push my beliefs onto anybody else. I just will say where I've been, and I respect your belief. I don't because I don't want you to push your beliefs onto me. I talk about your beliefs and the things that you believe and things like that. I think that it's wonderful. I think that people have a nice connection to whatever it is that they want to have and they believe strongly. And faith is a very powerful thing. But for me, it is me. I'm not saying that I'm a god or anything like that. I'm far from it. I'm a flawed human being, and that's about. I'm flawed human mortal being. So I don't have my omnipotence. I don't have any of the things that gods are supposed to have. But my belief is in me. I take responsibility for my action. If there is salvation, pretty much the damage that I do on this planet, I would like to correct it, and not only correct it, I would like to leave it better. Leave the earth better than when I got into it. I would love to do that. I can't. I'm not a. Let's fix the what other people are doing wrong and the damage that they're doing. No, myself. I worry about myself and my responsibility there. And I know that's very selfish, maybe narcissistic, egotistical, megalomaniac, whatever you want to call it. I don't even care. I just want to say that I respect other people that much, and what they have, I don't want to change it. I don't want people to be not be themselves. And if that's where they are as themselves in their lives with whatever, and like, it's not right or wrong, that's where they are, it's, or, I see a lot of faiths, saying how they're the right, and this is what you get, and when you can't even produce the thing you worship, and you're going to tell me what I'm going to get, so you can't produce that either. You don't know. Nobody knows. Nobody knows what heaven is like. Nobody knows what hell is like. Nobody. They might not be there. This could be heaven. Here on earth, you could be in heaven and hell at the same time. Like that. This might be where we end back up after we die. There might not be a higher level of existence for the human soul. I don't know. I have been asked, and I might have mentioned this before, like if God came down and people worshipped it, whatever the God is, and it is the God of the Bible, Allah, Yahweh, whatever, Ishnu, Thor, Odin, whatever you want, whoever it is, spirit, wood spirit. But if this being comes down and solicits it, I'm not going to worship it. I don't worship things. I'll respect. I would respect God if he proves himself worthy of my respect, and that's about as far as I go. If he bullies me, he's a bully, and that's what and if you haven't watched any of the earlier videos, that's one of my triggers. So I do not like bullies, so I will probably not like God. Same thing with the devil. If the devil comes in portraying him, pretending he's God, I don't care. I don't care what you are. You're not going to get my worship. You're not going to get the thing. You do not make my life. You haven't made my life better to this point, and whatever magic tricks and craziness that you got up your sleeve, I don't want them. I continue on. I have my own responsibility with myself. If fortune favors me, so be it. If fortune doesn't favor me, so be it. It really boils down to that. And so when I think about being a failure at something, the closest thing I come up with is like, not able to level up in a game, maybe. I don't see things as failures either. So it's probably one of the reasons why I don't think people get stronger after after something that could kill them doesn't. PTSD, I think I might have it, and I've never been to a war zone. I've been kind of today anyways, brain fog wise. Let me try to get my thoughts together. But yeah, as far as where my page is today, from the initial thing, like I said, that can be considered a failure because it didn't do what I set it out to do. Right now, what the page is doing is it's very slowly, very almost leaky faucet drip, and it's the faucet is shut off, but it's drip drip drip. I said drip drip drip. It's just drip drip drip. Things are happening that even slower than that. And I'm fine with it. Would I want to think I'm a pastor? Sure, but at what cost? Do I already picked up one stupid troll. What if I have 100 trolls? It's just, you know, I just, if I'm making a page for trolls to dislike my shit, fuck them. If that's all it becomes, fuck them. And all it takes is one person to like stuff and to comment and to have a discussion with me and to change. It's worth 1,000 trolls. I would take that one guy and 1,000 trolls. So I guess my record right now is pretty good. But if this really became, I would definitely say that I was a failure if all the videos that I do, even though they're not widely viewed, if it flipped around and it was just all all hateful, mean people, who have nothing else better to do except for try to spread their hate. I think I would consider the page a failure and close up shop. And that's what a failure means to me. It's not a failure if I can still get back up and continue on. It's a failure if I stop. That's what would lead to being a failure. And yeah, like I said, there was a finite amount of videos that I made for my birthday. And I don't know if I'm going to revisit those playlists for next year's birthday, but I might and just add to them. But yeah, the finite videos that I made, all of them, and they got divided up amongst, this is not a test, loud noises, novel idea. No, novel idea wasn't there in the beginning. I had three or four different playlists running all at once. But this is not a test. This is not a test was a big one. The main thing, and of course I had the worst birthday ever playlist. So yeah, maybe it was four different categories that I was dividing things up in, and it did not do what I was hoping it was going to do, which of all the almost tragic. Result of that, and it is kind of sad, and it does kind of break my heart that it did fail. But it also is also one of the reasons why I say that I have a better relationship with a VTuber who's portraying the real life person is portraying a character online, and I do not have a relationship or connection to the real life person. I only have a connection to the character. And I know it probably doesn't make very much sense, but it's true. And my connection to her character, I will try to always say that my connection to her character is greater. I think it's more substantive. I think that it, even though she's got a lot of demands because she's, earning a living, doing this, and I have to admit, not an easy thing to be doing. One of the VTubers who's been around for a long time, talked about how for 3 years they were, pretty much working with, two people. And then when they did a birthday stream, they had 30 people in their birthday stream. And, now they're at hundreds of thousands. So, and when you think on that term, you think, that's why. that's the reason why they're now doing it. But they had humble beginnings, so I'm in that, and could could I be, I have always had more than 3 subscribers, so could 3 years pass and not see where this is going to be how I earn my living, and that could definitely happen. I I really want to quit my day job, but I can't. And I know that people talk about, I'm not taking risk, but it's not about taking the risk. I wouldn't be able to survive um, without being able to earn a living. And, so if I do quit my day job, I'm literally going to be walking into another one almost immediately. And 3 years is not too long to wait, so might as well just stick it out. I always looking for ways to do things better, always looking for ways to improve. But I definitely don't think that any of my videos are a failure in the respect that because they're created. There's definitely mistakes. I think in my last video, sorry, I think in my last video that I missed all the cues, all the musical cues in the song, and rushed it, sang it too slowly at the same time, and I got that result. It also has lots of technical. I've been kind of debating whether I want to take it off life support, as it were, and just reshoot it. When I reshot the first 4 music videos, I actually felt guilty. I actually felt like, why am I giving these 4 videos a second chance when I'm not doing it for my own work, like this, like videos like this, like the live streams, which I have a lot of work to do. I have things to cut out and things to paste and things to do, all this other stuff. So, and for some reason I'm crashing and I'm trying to figure out why, but I'm going to probably end this soon. But yeah, I think that I think some people probably think it's pretty sad that I do have a closer relationship with a fictional character than I do the people that have been around me or with me, pretty much their entire lives or my entire life. And I have to say I'm happier. I'm happier this way than I was, dealing with them. They're not good. People are people. I used to think that people were generally good people and have their best interest of humanity in mind as opposed to their own self-interest. But the truth is that that's not the case. That there's a growing number of people that would rather watch the world burn. All right. Like I said, I'm crashing. I just wanted to do a quick video, trying to update you and keep you informed. So we're gonna just end it here. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. I hope that things are coming your way and things are working out for you, and we're gonna do a cool beans. All right, take care.